Today is the 7th day of June. 3 named Psalms have already developed in the Caribbean. I look at what has happened in Abaco and throughout the Bahamas since the F&M government has came to power. And I just sit down here and all this lockdown, you do a lot of writing, you do a lot of reading, you do a lot of thinking. Got to keep the brain active. And I just saw something that came from the universal God that he brought into my spirit. And this is how the next election will be won by the Progressive Liberal Party if they follow suit. The words of Dr. Minnis will determine the type of candidate that the PLP would choose. And the words that came out of the Prime Minister's mouth to the white merchants that let the employees go was these words. And this is what the PLP need to find in their candidates that they're gonna put forward in the next general election. Candidates that have a heart, that have a soul, and a compassion. 3 simple words. HSC. Heart, soul, and compassion. And if the Progressive Liberal Party, through their selection from the Candidates Committee, could find candidates throughout the Bahamas in the different constituency that have a heart, that have a soul, and compassion for Bahamian people and their constituents, and know their constituents, and basically live in their constituency, they will be the government party for just not one time, but for a long time. Because as we look at the F&M, the in-house fighting, there ain't much leadership in them. And anytime you notice in the F&M, if there is such a leader, they try to cut his feet from under him. Remember Brendel McCartney? He was deemed to be the next prime minister of the country. Hubert Ingram saw potential. Somebody said he didn't wait his time. He waited his time. It's just that Hubert tarried too long. Hubert didn't wait his time. Hubert waited his time and Brendel's time. It was long time for Hubert to go. But because Hubert saw potential leadership in Brendel McCartney, he let his own demise because Brendel became arrogant. But back to the upcoming election, we can't come soon enough. Again, if the PLP and the Candidates Committee could forget all them big accolades, because we know a lot of ministers in the Progressive Liberal Party went packing. Ministers, because they didn't have the things that Bahamian is looking for. Somebody that have a heart, somebody that have a soul, and somebody that has compassion to help the less fortunate to the top. Not those ones that greedy and all for me. The same people always want to carry the bag. Those are the people, if you could try to get rid of them, the party will be a better party. Those people that recognize to be a member of parliament is not to act like a sheik, but to be a member of parliament is for service, service, service. Mother Pratt summed it up so well when she spoke at the PLP module. She said it's all about service. And once you show service and show love, you will get elected again. Everybody know when you are lying. They know when you're cheating. They know when you're stealing. You could only try for a little time to try to fool the fools. But this is the days of internet. Everybody knows your business instantaneously just by a touch of the finger. That is why when Kai talk, Zedness goes from Inagua to Walker's Key. Kai goes to Europe, South and Central America in seconds. That is why I speak not only for the Bahamas, so that the world could know what's going on in the Bahamas. That is why I have been purposely locked out of Abaco. You imagine, in the Bahamas, it's almost illegal to speak truth. They lock you up, knowing they can't win the case. They put you before the courts. Boy, I wonder what's happening with the Bahamas, that everybody is taking a knee for justice because of the injustice of the police. And I could name them out from Abaco, all of them, that being so unjust, and they're still on the force and just got promoted. Ewing, Kevin Ellis, criminal, crook, thief. You got Murphy, stole $2,000 of my taxi. Deanso Cash went into the bank. How could Deanso Cash go into the bank and put my information to a Sporting's body, and I'm the only signature on the account? And I can name them: Simon Benamy. Every time I think about Simon Benamy, he ought to be in jail. Mo Johnson. All these were criminal on the police force. Some of them just got promoted. And nobody in this country has taken to the streets. I keep saying, where is the people with the backbone? We have lost it for this generation. Can we take a knee for the next generation to make this Bahamas a better place for our kids and our grandkids? We have become selfish. It's all about me and me. What happened to those days when somebody would kill an animal and everybody from the neighborhood would share in the meat? When one person would cook a pot, everybody would eat. Everybody would be filled. Everybody would be happy. What happened to those days when everybody could discipline your child? You can't even call anybody name. Not my child. I can tell you now, not my child. But the same child never work. But he's bringing television, stoves, microwave, clothes, jewelry, money, and the parents never ask, son, where you get them from? You don't work. How you got them? All they saying, boy, that's a good boy. This boy just steal these things and he brought it onto me. That's them same police that was down there during the hurricane, stealing in the name of the law. And neither one was reprimanded, neither one was fired. We got the tape, we got the data, not one single one was sent home. And these are the persons that swore an oath before man and God to protect and to serve. There was a time when the police was protecting and to serve, but nowadays they're trying to make criminals out of citizen that has no crime, all in the name of numbers. The more cases they put before the courts, their bosses somehow promote them, but they don't see how many cases that they lost. All they're doing is causing the citizen hardship, disrespect, dislike for crooked law enforcement. So the police and Paul Rose had so much work to do. The Progressive Liberal Party, it should be an easy walkthrough. But there's so much data, there's so much information, there's so much wrong that the FNM is doing, but everybody is so mightily quiet. This is the time to hit the street and let the world know that this government is not for the people. This is a selfish, uncaring government that doesn't have a heart, doesn't have a soul, and doesn't have a compassion. If the PLP could find such person like Kai Mills that have a heart, that have a soul, and have compassion, I will make sure that Darren got beat by 3,000 votes. I am the only one from North Abaco that could bring F&M, PLP, and Independent to vote for Kai Mills. And somebody asked the question, can Kai be a minister? And I asked this question, name anything that any minister in this F&M government is doing to date. What are they doing that Kai Mills can do? I don't care what degree they got behind their name. Kai Mills could do better than all of them put together. You will be able to feel representation. The Bahamian people would feel that somebody care. To date, they can't see, feel, nor touch nothing that this F&M government has done to date that is making their life better today nor in the future. All they're doing is bringing us down a pathway of destruction. Kai Case, the man from Abaco that has a heart, a soul, and compassion for the people of North Abaco. That is why I wake up every morning to let the world know that Kai cares, and this heartless government is destroying the life of Abaconians and standing with a knee on our necks for 9 months. And Abaco saying, Mr. Prime Minister, Darren Henfield, James Albury, we can't breathe. Please allow us to breathe. Bring some of the money that were collected. Take your knees off the necks of Abaco. Please, the most honorable Prime Minister, Hubert Minnis, let Kai Mills breathe. Let Abaco breathe. 9 months in, Abaco can't breathe. Please, Mr. Prime Minister, take your knees off the necks of Abaconians and Abaco and let us breathe. All we ask for is fresh air. Release us. Take your knees off of our necks and let Abaco breathe. Please let us breathe. F&M government, we want to breathe.